Hey Virgos, I hope you guys are doing awesome. I hope you had an awesome April. There's a lot happening in May. Uranus is changing signs for the first time in 7 years, leaving the sign of Aries, moving into Taurus. This is going to shake up and change your guys' 9th house of higher learning, politics, philosophy. Some of you might be furthering your education. Some of you might be traveling to different places over the course of the next 7 years while Uranus transits this sign. Some of you are going to learn new skills. You're definitely going to be expanding your knowledge over the course of 7 years in a Uranus way, which is about trying different routes, exploring new paths. Being open-minded to new ways of looking at things. Venus has been transiting your 8th house of others. This is your partners. This is other people's money. This is banks, loans, credit cards. It's also the house of deeper spiritual, metaphysical things as well, hidden things, conspiracy, research, investigation. So some of you might be investigating the first part of this month. And through the middle, till the middle of the month, investigating new topics, doing some research, thinking about investing, expanding your resources, coming up with new ways to solidify your finances. Jupiter is still retrograding in your guys' 3rd house of communication, local travel, neighborhood, neighbors, siblings. So there's definitely a lot of communication going on with you guys. Communicating, traveling, local travel, driving around, visiting local shops, hanging out with siblings. All that stuff is favored and enhanced and increased with Jupiter's transit there. Venus is transiting your 10th house of career. This is awesome. This is for getting those accolades, getting a raise, getting a promotion. Those of you working for yourself, you can get a lot more attention. Your business can draw more attention to it. For those of you single, love can be found around or near work or at any public events. Definitely seeing some good accomplishments at work while Venus transits Gemini, and that will be all the way until the 19th when it's going to move into the sign of Cancer. And then you guys are your social life is going to pick up quite a bit. You're going to spend more time with friends and receive benefits from friends after the 19th of the month. So it does look like a very social month for you guys. Now there's also a new moon on the 15th. There's a lot happening on the 15th. Not only does Uranus shift signs into Taurus, but there's a new moon in Taurus, again, with your 9th house of higher learning. So I do see you guys really doing some research, wanting to learn something new, expand on your skill set, further your education. Some of you might be planning to travel. Some of you might travel. Some of you might take a vacation. But it's definitely feel-good energy, the 9th house. It's Jupiter's house. It's all about expansion, learning, philosophy, furthering your education, going back to school. All that stuff is highly supported. Saturn, Pluto, and Mars have been all transiting your 5th house of self-expression, creativity, love and romance, and children. Some of you can get pregnant during this time period while Saturn transits here. Some of you will be getting into a serious partnership that might require more work. Maybe there's obligations involved, or it's a more serious, committed partnership. Some of you are maybe coming across more reserved, more serious, more focused. In some cases, Saturn blocks and restricts, so some of you can be feeling like you're blocked on your creative expression, or you're thinking more about how you express yourself, taking more precautionary, being more precautionary, I guess, on how you express yourself, thinking things through more. But Saturn builds every house that he transits, so, in the house of love and romance, creativity, self-expression, and children, you'll be taking these areas more serious. For those of you that have children, your children can become problematic sometimes, maybe taking more time from you. You can have situations surrounding your children that may involve more focus and time from you. But with Mars transiting through there all last month, for those of you that's single, it was a good time for you to meet somebody. Definitely more social, having more fun, especially with Saturn there. That could be blocking the fun or your self-expression, making you more serious. Mars can definitely spruce things up. So April was good for that, and actually the first week of May. And then on the 15th, Mars will be changing signs into the sign of Aquarius, which is a lot more expressive and authentic and trying different things, and sometimes crazy and zany energy. But that's in your 6th house of health, fitness, and wellness. So on the 15th, and also refinement and perfection. It's the house of being picky. It's Virgo's house. It's your guys' house. So Mars there can put the focus and the energy into refining things, making things neater, but also it has to do with your coworkers. So watch out for any confrontations at work. People just tend to be a little more aggressive, sometimes agitated, more direct for sure. But you can also be this way at work, in your work environment, more direct, more bossy. So just be careful about that. But it's good for health and working out. If you want to start working out, come the 15th, it's an awesome time. You're going to have the energy to do so, and you can see some real results. Also to put a focus on health and the way you eat and your diet, taking care of yourself, nurturing yourself, all that stuff is going to come into play after the 15th. So the 15th is really a big day. There's a new moon. Uranus changes signs. Mars moves into Aquarius. So there's going to be an energy shift after the 15th. Definitely going to be noticeable by all signs. Mercury is going to move into Gemini on the 29th, and we're going to have a full moon in Sagittarius on the same day. And Mercury's movement into Gemini is going to join Venus there. Well, Venus will be moving into your 11th house of friends, and then Mercury will move into your 10th house of career. So that's busy at work, communicating about work. If you're looking for a job, it's awesome to look for a job. It's actually awesome to look for a job all this month because you have Venus in the 10th house as well. So those of you looking for a job, you can definitely find a job. And then around the 29th, when Mercury moves into Gemini in your 10th house, it's a good time to write emails, to fill out applications, to look for work also. Those of you that are working, you're definitely going to be busy communicating a lot at work, a lot of business coming in at work. On the 16th will be a little bit of an impulsive day because Mars is going to square Uranus, and that's just impulsive, energetic, try something new, biting at the bit kind of energy. We can be a little edgy and nervous, so just be careful not to stub your toe. Get injured. And on the 19th, is when you're going to experience Venus transiting through your house of friends. So it's going to be a really social second half of the month, especially. Last month should have been pretty social for you guys too. First part of this month might be a little bit less social, and then it's going to start picking up after the 19th. That's when you're going to be spending a lot of time with friends, benefit from friends. You might be part of social groups, stuff like that. It's going to really start picking up, which is always fun. And then the 29th is the full moon in Sagittarius, and that's going to occur at 7:19 a.m. And that's in your 4th house of home. Real estate, family, early childhood. It can be very nostalgic time, the full moon. It tends to enhance emotions. There can be illuminations found about the family, things discovered about within the family. Some of you that are, in the process of buying a home, you can find a home. You can get that home thing going on the full moon shortly after, or you can find out about the home, whether or not you're approved or not. There's just realizations, illuminations that come with full moons, and they're kind of a culmination of something you've been working towards, you find out about. So that will be all regarding home and family, and some of you might be just thinking about early childhood and just thinking about what you want to, changes you want to make in the home. If you want to make changes in your home, make it more comfortable, whatever, that type of thing. So yeah, it looks like a really good month. It's going to definitely be shifting gears on the 15th. There's a lot happening after the 15th. Like I said, career looks really good for you guys. You guys can get that recognition. Definitely busier at work. If you work for yourself, business will be improving. Later on in the month, you're going to shift the focus to friends and groups and hanging out with friends and having fun, spending more time with your friends. And a lot of communication. In terms of love relationships, they're being, kind of prioritized with Saturn, tested, taken more seriously in terms of having fun and expressing yourself there. But you're going to be focusing on cleaning things up, organizing, working out, health, all that stuff come the 15th. Learning something new, learning a new trade, expanding your education, furthering your education, all that stuff, really growing. It's a growth period, but you're definitely going to be reaping rewards at work, so that's fantastic. I'm so happy to deliver that message for you guys. So I hope that you found it helpful. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. You got to click the bell to get notified of all my uploads. But otherwise, May looks like a great month for you guys. It's good for career, good for being busy, good for socializing. I mean, you got it all. So I am wishing you guys a fantastic May. And thanks so much for listening. And I will see you guys in June.